So I'm only going to read 2 more stories from these 5-minute fairy tales. Just because A, I work the next 7 days, and B, I'll do a video tonight about how my day off went, why I haven't been on, and we'll just talk a little bit. But first, let's do Disney's Princess Cinderella, a costume for Cinderella. It was a crisp fall afternoon. Cinderella was reading in her room, and when there was a knock on the door, it was Prudence, the castle's lead housekeeper. "Excuse me, Your Highness," Prudence said, "but this delivery just arrived for you. The messenger asked me to apologize. It seems this was meant to arrive much sooner." Prudence handed Cinderella an elaborate gold box that excused herself to see the castle's staff. Cinderella opened the box, and the inside was lined with a soft velvet bottom, and sitting atop a small pillow was a scroll tied with a satin red ribbon. Cinderella sat down with the box and took the scroll. It was an invitation from the king and queen of a nearby kingdom to a masquerade ball. "How exciting!" Cinderella cried, her mind filled with costume ideas. Cinderella looked more closely at the invitation and gasped. "Oh, no," she said. "The ball is tomorrow night. What am I going to wear?" "Don't worry, Cinderella," Gus said. "We can help," said Jack. "Thank you," she said. "I need all the help I can get. We better hurry." Cinderella and the mice went upstairs to her royal wardrobe. Cinderella's closet was stuffed with gorgeous ball gowns, rows and rows of shoes, and more hats and gloves and jewelry than she could count. But she didn't have any costume to wear. "There must be something in here we can turn into a costume," Cinderella said. "But where do we begin?" Jay and Gus were already hard at work thinking to pair together. "We'll find you something, Cinderella," Jack said. "Don't you worry." How about this, Cinderella?" Gus said, pointing out a few different items in her closet. "You could be a pretty flower." Cinderella put the hat on her hat and gown Gus had picked out. Then Jack ran around her, trying some green ribbons around her legs. Soon Cinderella looked like a flower. Cinderella said, looking at herself in the mirror. "It's a nice try, but I don't think it's quite right. Plus, I'm not so sure I can walk in it." "What about putting these together, Cinderella?" Jack asked. He pointed to a frilly white gown, a fluffy white coat, and a feathery white hat. Cinderella put on the outfit. "What am I?" she asked, looking at her reflection in the mirror. "You're a cloud!" Jack exclaimed. "Oh, I suppose I am," Cinderella said. "I'm not quite sure about quite right either." "I think we're going to have to make a costume," Cinderella said. "And I know just the thing." Cinderella and the mice got to work. They cut out colorful swatches of fabric and sewed together everything. Finally, the pieces of Cinderella's costume were ready. "It's perfect," Cinderella said, twirling happily as she looked at herself reflection in the mirror. "Cinderella is a very beautiful butterfly," Gus and Jack said to Gus. There was just one problem left. Prince Charming was away. Cinderella didn't have a date for the ball. "Thank you for helping me make my costume," Cinderella said. "I think I know just how to repay you. What would you like to come to the ball with me?" Jack and Gus clapped. "Cinderella, take us to the ball." They cheered. Cinderella was excited for her friends to join her. "I know just what you should wear," she said. The next evening, Cinderella, Gus, and Jack got ready for the ball. Cinderella wore her butterfly costume. Gus and Jack were tiny caterpillars. "You make quite the trio," Prudence said, showing them to the door. "I hope you have a wonderful time." When Cinderella and the mice arrived at the masquerade ball, Cinderella looked around. All the guests wore incredible costumes. Cinderella's costume wasn't the fanciest of the most beautiful, but she didn't mind one bit. She liked the homemade costume best of all. Most important, Cinderella had the very best company. "Let's dance, Cinderella," Gus exclaimed. Cinderella smiled as they stepped onto the dance floor. Soon she, Gus, and Jack were dancing the night away. On the carriage ride home, Cinderella and the mice were very, very tired, but they were also very happy. "Thank you for being there for me," Cinderella told Gus and Jack, "and thank you for being such charming dates." "Anything for Cinderella," Jack said. Gus agreed. That's what friends are for. And that's one of two stories. One story left to read to you.